Hi, everyone. Today we'll be discussing The Art of Prophecy. This is by Wesley Chu. This was my book club pick for January. So I'm going to wait and see if anyone pops in. But there's a lot I have to say about this book. There's some good, and then there's some things where I did feel a little bored. After I read it and then I was pondering and self-reflecting on everything that I read and the storyline, the plot, and all that. So, yeah, I have a lot to say. I'm going to wait a little bit, but I do not want to take so much of y'all's time because I know it's Sunday. This is pretty much people's day to relax and rest and to pretty much catch up on things as far as being productive, laundry, all that good stuff. Um, but anyway, so let me go ahead and begin. Hey, Elysees. How are you? But for the Art of Prophecy, we are following. I feel like the two main characters was Taisha and Jean. I'm saying their names correctly. If not, I do apologize. Um, and Jean is supposed to be like we have this trope of the chosen one. But he seems really arrogant in a sense. I don't know. I don't. I guess when you are fed the ideal of you being the chosen one, you pretty much feeling yourself in a sense. So that's what I was getting from Jean. But let me see. Hey Dee. Good. How are you? Doing good, doing good. I was literally just resting, so I'm still I'm reading still, but then I know later on I'm gonna take a nap and yeah. But everything's good. Everything's good. Tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting because we have a very, very important visitor coming to my job, and everybody is like freaking out. And I'm thinking to myself, he is just a man. I get it. He's the CEO, but y'all need to chill out. Just relax. Hey, hey, Bree. How are you doing? I hope you're resting. But seriously, I hope your weekend's been good. Hope everybody's weekend has been good. That's all good. Ooh, CEO, yeah. Everybody's like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, can't wait to meet him. Because I like to observe people and I definitely will be observing him. And if he ever if he asks me a question about stuff, which hopefully he doesn't ask me any particular questions because I'm be quite honest with him. And hopefully he expects that from employees. But I don't know. We shall see. But anyway, we're talking about the Art of Prophecy, and we have Jean, who's the main character, who is the chosen one to kill the Eternal Khan, who he cannot be killed. The only person that can kill him is Jean, who like I said, is the chosen one. Um, but then prior to us knowing Jean, the Eternal Khan is killed by like this rogue, like a giant guy, like from the military or the army or whatever. It was really, really random. And people were starting to freak out, like, no, this can't be right. Only the chosen one can kill the Eternal Khan. And I'm like, okay, apparently not. So that sort of disturbed me a little bit because it made it they made it impossible where the Eternal Khan could not be killed unless John had killed him, but that was not the case. So I was trying to figure out where the plot was heading because it's like, okay, the chosen one didn't kill him, so what's the point of having this chosen one, so to speak? And so after that happens, we meet Jean and him fighting and stuff. Then we meet this amazing warrior, Taisha, who she's amazing. She's one of my favorite characters in the book, out of everyone else. But I do like Sally as well, even though I'm still trying to figure her out. This is only the first book in the series. I think it's maybe two or three books in the series. I'm not sure. Um, I was trying to research and look up on some things, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be two books, three books, whatever. It just says it's a saga. So who knows? It could be many books. Um, So she ends up challenging Jean, and she pretty much humiliates him because his masters, they really didn't train him like they were supposed to. They pretty much was like making him feel like he was the shit, even though he wasn't. And Taisha was like, nah, I gotta really train you. And he just did not like that. And I feel like that's sort of realistic because when people tell us like we're this and we're that, oh, we're really good, we have it in our heads like we're the best. But then when someone comes up and challenges us and embarrasses us in a certain light, in a certain way, you feel some type of way. You feel like, was people just feeding me bullshit? And that's and I feel that's what Jean was feeling a little bit. And he did not like Tasha because she was putting him in his place. Like, no, you pretty much are a rookie. You have a lot to learn, and you should have known a lot of these skills and assets that you're supposed to have in order to kill the Eternal Khan. And so she was training him, she was his master, and then come to find out, they get the news that the Eternal Khan was killed by this rogue person. And next thing you know, they all make this agreement on, well, the Eternal Khan is dead. We don't need Jean. He has all this power. We might as well kill him. And I'm like, okay. Like let me know, like if y'all were y'all like confused? Because I sort of was in a sense. Like, okay, now you're killing him. Is that the end? Like, I was really like, I want to know, like, we see the plot, but it was just weird. So Taisha ends up saving him and takes him to the school and changes his name to Lou Hero, and she leaves him, and he's just like, why are you leaving me? You protected me and now you're leaving me. She's like, I will be back for you in a few weeks or something or whatever. Even though when people say a few weeks, that means months. That's some months for you. And he was pretty much um an indentured servant at this school. So he was serving all the teachers and stuff, helping people train, at the school. I'm telling you, I was mad most of the time. Right. And I understand that because towards the middle of the book, Elises, I was bored. I'm like, okay, what's the purpose of this? Tasha is off on her adventure. She's talking to her ex boo and stuff because now he's a monk and trying to go to what was it? The ancient city. What was it? The original temple of the Tiandi, who are the people who created this whole aspect of the chosen one, the person that was going to kill the Eternal Khan. So she's off doing that. She's trying to find a map or whatever to get there because it's impossible to do so. And then she has a lot of people coming to her and and she's in disguise herself because they know that she hid Jean or whatever. And so people are after her, people are after Jean. You have Sally, who is also was pledged herself as a soul seeker for the Eternal Khan. So she's looking for someone else for because they believe in reincarnation. So they're looking for a person to be the Eternal Khan. But if I'm not mistaken, she was supposed to be. I'm not sure, but I know the Eternal Khan or whatever was her best friend. When she left him, I was like, "Do you honestly believe he has the skill set to one, keep a low profile, to protect himself?" I was like, "Why are you leaving?" Right, because he still had a lot to learn. And I had a feeling like he was going to end up slipping eventually, like showing his identity because yes, he was still not as skilled, but you could tell he had these abilities of being great. And I knew eventually he was going to slip when he was going to help the students train or whatever in in combat and stuff. He was just going to blow his whole reason why he was hiding in the first place, and they're going to find him, which we all find out that eventually they do find him. But I also found Sally, or whatever her name is, to be quite interesting because yes, she was trying to kill John or whatever because he's the chosen one and he's supposed to kill the Eternal Khan. She also was dealing with stuff with her people and how they were treated. So it was a mixture of things within this book. So it got me going up and down, and I was a little confused because I was like, okay, so it's this. She's also trying to protect her people, like what is there? Because you didn't even know how to strategize, like think ahead and right, right. So I was just wondering, like, where is this book taking us? Because it's so many different storylines at this point. I thought the main storyline was about Jean and the Chosen One and the Eternal Khan, but it's about more than that. We have an assassin who just wanted to kill people, and then you had Sally who was trying to also save her people and have them go to their, where they belong, and not become indentured servants. But I don't know. Like, we get the premise because I wrote some notes. So we had a pampered chosen one who had lost his purpose because the Eternal Khan was killed. You had Taisha, who was a master, taking him on as an apprentice. You had a warrior trying to save her newly fallen people, which was Sali, and then the assassin, who I forget who her name is, but she was just trying to kill people. Um, so we were dealing with a lot of that, and I felt like the book sort of lost itself towards, I would say, the middle of the book, because it sort of got dry a little bit, and it made me, like, I was hyper reading it, so I was reading it, but I was also listening to it on audio, and then I just got like, okay, bored a little bit. Yes, it got really busy with the storyline, right. I feel like Wesley Chu, it was a great book, but I felt like it was losing a lot because a lot was happening in just this book. And I figure, like, maybe you should have like introduced this other plot or whatever with Sally and her fallen people in the second book, because we should be still focusing on Jean and Taisha, and figuring out how come the Eternal Khan was killed easily, because technically that means he's not eternal if he was killed that, like, easily by a giant, right? So it just, that part was, it was very confusing. Now, will I continue this series? Yes, I will, because I feel like it's going to get better. Because I know Wesley Chu, he had written other works, and this is my first book that I read by him, and a lot of people have loved his writing. So I'm gonna probably give this another chance, and read the second book, which I think comes out later on at the end of this year, maybe September or October. Um, but I don't know. I like the whole martial arts and magic. I do love the aspect of that. Um, and you have, a band of unlikely allies. I know, I'm glad that Jean had found some friends or whatever at the school, and they eventually put two and two together because they're not dummies. I mean, they knew who he was eventually. It especially how he was trying to, like, stay undercover but didn't, like, he was still revealing stuff about himself. Um and there's bullying in here as well. So a lot of enemies is up in this book, and Jean is just has no luck whatsoever. Um, this is my personal opinion, but I feel as the author was wrapped up in trying to write a fantasy rather than letting the writing tell the story and let it flow better. Right. Yeah, I think it could have been a lot smoother. The flow could have been more, I think it was just rocky. Um, I gave it, now for my rating, I gave it a 4 out of 5 because I see its potential. It's just, I think the author has to find a balance on how he wants to tell this story. But like I said, I love the martial arts aspect. I love the chosen one. I like the magic. I just think it has to have, like, a clear plot. Because it was all over the place. I'm like, Sally, the person who discovered, trying to help her fallen people, she was also trying to kill John. And then she wasn't trying to kill John, she was trying to save her people. So it's like she has to do one or the other, right? Like, I don't know. And so it's like, what's the purpose, at this point? And she, because her main goal was to find somebody to be the Eternal Khan, if I'm not mistaken. But then she drifted into doing something else. So I don't know. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, where does this story go from this first book? That's what I really want to know. Like, fantasy has to be so complicated and have so many moving parts instead of letting it flow as it should. Right. I agree. I agree. I feel like it was forced. And as a writer, I get it. Like, you have deadlines, and you you have to send some type of draft in. So I don't know what happened. Maybe he was rushed in trying to get this book released. I have no idea. I'm only assuming. Um, But apparently, like, even in like the synopsis, it says, but that's when the story hits its first twist. The prophecy is wrong. So we're trying to figure out, okay, what is the prophecy? Because I was being confused about that. I'm going to reread the book and I'm going to continue, but I rated it a 3. Yeah, which respectively, so you should. I was on the fence because like, oh, it was between a 3 or a 4 or a 3.5 at least, which, so I gave it to a 4. So I don't know. I do like the action. The action scenes were great. Tasha, I spelled like I spelled it like the audio would pronounce. It's fine. Is a great funny character. Right. She was my favorite character. Like and I felt like I felt her emotions, what was going on in her head when she was visiting her ex lover, who is now a monk, who's Mora. I forget how he pronounced his name, and they still had this connection, but he couldn't do that anymore with her because he is a monk now. He made that decision for his life, and oh, I really wish she told him that that they had a child. But I felt like she didn't, but she made it clear she didn't say anything to him because he had chosen his path. He had chosen what he wanted his future to be. So I felt she said she didn't tell him because she didn't want to burden him, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I felt like, girl, you should just told him, but it really wouldn't have helped the situation because he already devoted himself into being a monk. But yeah, I really Taisha was my favorite character. All the characters, her character made sense, and sometimes I feel like maybe he needs to have a book with Taisha and her background and all that. How she has become such a great fighter. Because I was even assuming, like, even on the cover, that this was Taisha. So I I feel like that's her. It looks, but I could be wrong. But that's who I'm assuming it is because she's the one pretty much fighting everybody. She's the only real warrior in this book to me, besides John, who still has a lot of work to do and a lot of training to do. Hi, yeah, there was a lot going on. I gave it a 3.5. I agree with that. I also felt like it had potential, and I'm excited to see more of the magic and the characters. That's what carried the book for me. Right. I will say that. I will say that as well. I agree with that. It was definitely the magic and the whole world and stuff. So I do like that about it. And Taisha, because I feel like Taisha was carrying the story on her back the entire time. And just her background, the way she John reminded her of her son Sunso, which I really want to get more into about her son and stuff. But anyways, what was I saying? Yes, about her son Sanso. So I really would love to know more about what happened to her son. Girl, fuck his past, take care of his child. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. You're funny. Right, I thought the same things. He is the one on the cover. Right. And that's why I feel like maybe he needs to focus on Taisha. Maybe she's the like, what if they said the prophecy was wrong? So maybe I would love for her to be the chosen one or something. Like, all the shit she's been through, like, you better give her flowers, do something. Because I feel like he was a fill-in where Taisha was the person we had to watch and observe. So I don't know. Hello, how's everyone this afternoon? I didn't really connect with the characters in this book. It was well written, but for whatever reason, I really didn't care what happened. Yeah, like the only character I really liked, Jiro, was Taisha. Um, and I don't know, I feel like the author had missed some points. I see a lot of people that love this book, but I also see, like, even with reviews, some people gave it a 2 stars because it was confusing. He was jumping from this character to this character. This character has a problem with this character. Fine. But then they say, "Oh, my fallen people," and then you have a random assassin just trying to kill everybody. So I'm like, yeah, you got to get it together. You got to get it together. I would give it a 3 star. It was well written, but it dragged. Right. Especially towards like the very beginning of the book, it was very, very interesting. But towards the middle, it was starting to lose itself. And then the end, it was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, oh gosh, she better not be dead. But which I was reading for Taisha because she's the only person I really care about. Is that wrong? Like I did not want her to die or whatever. So and I'm really really trying to figure out what the second book would be about, or if the the author will take a different approach where we are going to be talking about Taisha and her past. You know, like back up for a second. Like how did she become this great warrior? I want to know more about her. I really could care less about Jean at this point, or he wasn't the real Khan. Yeah, I guess so. Hmm, I don't know. Like I said, the book was just had some points where it's confusing, so I have no clue. Yeah. Are you going to continue with the series? Like, that's a good question. Like, any you would continue? Like, I think I'm gonna definitely continue because I feel like there is potential. I just think since it's the first book of this series, I think the author dropped the ball on this one. But I seen that a lot of people love this book though, so I probably need to reread it myself, Elise's as well. Yeah, I think so. The fact that there's one book out, so it is not that big of a commitment, helps, and I do want to see more of some characters. Yeah, I think maybe we'll have better explanations of each character because I think they released the title of the second book, which is called The Art of Destiny. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And then even it says on Goodreads, it says a hero once believed to be the chosen one must find a new path with the help of a band of unlikely allies in the sequel to The Art of Prophecy, an epic fantasy ode to martial arts and magic. It says once there was a prophecy that a chosen one would rise to defeat the eternal Khan, an immortal god king. But the prophecy was wrong. Now Jean, the former chosen hero, is just an ordinary young man trying to find his own way, but he may yet have an extraordinary destiny because he joins forces with Taisha, his grumpy grandmaster, who instructs him in the ways of her family's powerful war art, which I really want to know more about her family and herself. And John still has a long way to go before he can become her heir. So she recruits a band of elderly grandmasters who come out of retirement to whip him into shape and help with this one last job. And there are others who are also seeking their own destiny, like Kusami, that's her name, Kusami, an assassin on a secret mission to protect a powerful noblewoman from her enemies. But as Kusami goes undercover to complete her mission, she takes on a new identity that gives her something she never had: friendship, found family, and new purpose. Sally also thought of her fate was laid before her. She was supposed to be looking for the next Eternal Khan and now finds her clan exiled from everything she's ever known. As she leads the survivors in search of a new home, Sally discovers that she's something she never thought she could be: a leader and a revolutionary. Because sometimes destiny is grander than any prophecy can foresee, and the greatest destiny of all is the one you choose for yourself. So I wonder if this is going to be hmm, interesting. What? What if John's her son? Well, no, John Sanso was her son. I don't know. She said Sanso was her son, but she never said what happened to him. So I don't know. But then she always compares Sansa to John, so she probably will make would I declare him her son, and he would be the heir. Who knows? She's not very. No, she is not. She definitely is not. But maybe that had to do with a lot of the like before she had her son, like all the training she had to do, what type of mindset she'd type of have, like she had to have, or she had to be completely heartless. Maybe that's why she's just a badass when it comes to martial arts. Like she has to be heartless, which you see that when she's with Jean, but you could tell she has a soft side because she protected him and kept him in hiding and was trying to find out about, his purpose. So she does care. It's just she doesn't really show it that well. Um, let me see. I feel like this is a book that just didn't take itself too seriously. Like it was very, yeah, right. And some characters and moments felt very cartoony, but like in an intentional way. Yeah. So I was just there for the ride. The plot, I agree, was kind of too much, but then not enough at some points. Right. But if Jean is her son, that would be amazing. But that's why I want to know if there's just a book strictly about her because we don't know a lot. And I feel like that's the parts we were missing about Taisha and then about Jean and how she felt this have a connection with him. I don't know. I feel like there was some information missing. Maybe it was intentional, you know? And we will find out in the second book. I feel like maybe we'll have some more moments. I don't know. I don't know, but that would be interesting. And maybe have an interesting story if Jean is her son. She just changed his name. I don't know. I don't know. You know, there are secret babies being renamed all the time. Right. So maybe she did rename. That would be an interesting storyline. I wonder if that would be amazing if the author goes that route. I think she explained that he died because he couldn't take on her power. Maybe I missed that. I do need to reread it. But yeah, she mentioned that Sanso is like obviously he's gone. Her son is gone. So who knows? I like John. I think he has great potential. I think everything will come together for him, just like his different teachers giving him opposing fighting techniques was a hot mess until it wasn't. Right. Right. And I see John. He has potential. Taisha, I love her. John, like you said, he has the potential. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see what happens next because how it ended was weird to me. It seemed to end really abruptly. She killed her son when he tried to take the teacup away from her, the way she took the teacup away from her father, which killed her father. Gotcha. Gotcha. So maybe she just feels she has an obligation to teach Jan because she never got that with her son, which I can see that too, you know? When you lose a loved one and you see somebody else that reminds you of the person you lost, I feel like you have that instant connection and you're willing to do whatever it takes to help them and whenever they need it. I like Sean too. Yeah. I feel like he has potential. It's just I think with how the storyline and everything was going, I feel like there was too much and it was taking away from the story. It was taking away from Taisha and Jean entirely when it came to Sally and the Kwasami, the assassin. I think it was just too much. But I am interested in seeing what happens next in this second book because is there going to be an Eternal Khan? Is Sally going to find the Eternal Khan or is she just going to focus on her people? Because I mean, you can't really do both, can you? Like you're trying to save your people and bring them back to their homeland, but you know, like I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think he was a pretty realistic, like spoiled teen who thinks he knows everything but doesn't at all. Right, right. Because I mean, you've been fed all that stuff your whole life. Like I'm the chosen one. I'm the chosen one. I'm about to kill the Eternal Khan. You know, so having living like that, you know, it naturally you're gonna act like that. Yep, I definitely have to reread it. I didn't have time to read it again before today. Libby came hard for my neck this week. Libby came hard for me too. Like even for my TBR for this month, I'm still finalizing it. I have too many books I'm reading this month. All together. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 that I'm trying to read. And some of them they're really small. So that's why I felt like I might be able to get through them all. I don't know. I need to reevaluate my whole life and my reading. But yeah, Libby was coming for me when it came to the Art of Prophecy. He's like, he had 1 day left. And I was like, okay, all right, I gotta like go hard and read this before Libby just takes it away. So I get it, Ulysses. I get it. I think John will eventually take the teacup away from her. I think she is tired and ready to die, but wants to pass her power to someone. Yeah, I can see that. I feel like there's some times where she felt hopeless. But like I said, I feel like that was during the time of the middle part of the book where it was just dragging on. And I think that's another reason why I need to read it. Read it again anyways. This sounds like I didn't like him. What else I did. I mean, it is I mean it in a he was a good and consistent character. I'm excited for the development, right? There's always going to be some character development. I thought we were going to see a little bit more, but how the plot was going, we weren't going to get that. So that makes sense. Lacey's Libby can get these paws. We got you, nerd. Right. Man, I was borrowing that book from all the libraries that I had. I'm like, okay, so if this one I have 1 day left, at least on the next one I have 2 days left. I was like, man, the struggle is real. Libby just comes for everybody's throat. And I don't like that. I don't like that. And I need to literally like try to reorganize my Libby because I got books on hold that's ready. So I'd be like, you need to deliver it later because I'm not ready. It's not on my TBR this month. I'm like, deliver it later, deliver it later. And then I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and borrow it. But then I was like, shit, I shouldn't have borrowed it because now it's like, I don't think I'm gonna read it. So yeah, we got problems, y'all. Libby coming for us. I don't like it. I don't. Yeah. So true. I don't want her to die though. She was the best character. There was a point when I thought she was dead and I was heartbroken. Right. I was like, "Oh no. No. Don't die. Not you. You're the only one I'm like only character where I'm rooting for right now at this moment because I like you a lot. I invested a lot in you." OMG Brandon, I'm so thoroughly disappointed. Oh no. You did? I told you I kept hearing some bad things about it already and like I've asked a few people and they're like, it was just not it. And I'm like, no, that's so bad. What did you go ahead? You should just tell me, like, the whole was it the plot or like the world building, the character, or was it everything? Because some people didn't give me a straight answer. They just said it wasn't for them at all. That's disappointing. That's so disappointing. Ugh, but I did what now that we're on Waterstones, let me even talk let me see what I also got from Waterstones while I'm here. And then I'll give y'all a few other things I've been thinking about working on for y'all, particularly because y'all take the time and stuff. Y'all are my members. So I want to give y'all some updates on things. So let me see. What did I just order on Waterstone? I need to stay off the Waterstone website. I really do. But I also love the fact that they have a point system. So when you get so many points, you get a free book or whatever. So I also like that. I feel like Barnes and Noble should do that, but who am I? I got I went ahead and pre-ordered Temnestra. This is like it's Greek mythology, and I like Greek mythology. I love stuff about mythology. So I went ahead and got this, pre-ordered this edition because I love that. So I went ahead and just pre-ordered it. And I think that's the only thing that I pre-ordered. Well, I did pre-order the Art of Prophecy, their special edition, because I like their edges. So I went ahead and did that. I think I told y'all that already. And then I don't know why, but I have pre-ordered this, and I don't know if it's like a tale of love. It's a Scottish queen who is inspired by one of Shakespeare's most famous characters. So I went ahead and pre-ordered Lady Macbethed. So I went and pre-ordered that one, but I might change my mind. I'm glad that there's a cancel button. Oh man. I have 2 days to read 3 books before Libby gives them back to the waitlist. Oh man, I hate when that happens. I'm like, man, I'm screwed. And then I'm thinking like, well, I do have Audible, I do have some credits, but it's like, no, I don't want to use my credits on these particular books. So it's like, man, I'm just gonna have to wait. I'm more so disappointed in the fact that she kind of demonized a religion that is currently still being practiced, and that reminds me when people use their wishes as if they are not real. Oh, when they are for people who practice that religion. Oh, I don't know if I like that. I'm not for that at all. That really disappointing. Like the cover is beautiful. Like I'm still going to end up getting the book anyway because I think was it Fairy Loot or Illumicrate has it in one of their boxes this I think it's this month. I don't know. It's sort of too late too because I can't cancel it. That is really disappointing. I was wondering why that book wasn't selling either. Like, I noticed a few things, like, wasn't selling, and I was so that makes sense. That is why she has to die at the end of book 2. Oh, no, don't say that, but I get it. She has to die, but maybe we'll get some more development from her about her even more into her past before she ends up dying, hopefully. Like, I still love her. Eventually, I will have to be I hopefully when I need to let Taisha go, John will be more developed as a character, and I'll start liking him more. Oh, gee, really, damn, I was so excited for that book. Man, me too. I'm not for attacking religion. Like, I can't support that. Oh wow, that's really pretty. Oh yeah, I know. I had to. I'm not a baller. I just it's just gonna come out one of my cards, and they come out. They're spaced out, so I'll be able to pay the car. I'll be able to pay it, pay the bill. I strategically did it because I'm like, oh, well, this technically releases later on this year. Oh, so I'll be able to pay that. Like, yeah, it's spread out. Wait, let's shaking my head. I really need to get a keyboard. Ugh, yeah. Yeah. Waitlist sucks. But don't worry about that. I completely understood what you meant, so you're good. So it was really slow, nothing had happened at 36%. I didn't want to be the one, but it gave a lot of Poppy Wars. Oh, but not at all in a good way. Oh, so it's graphic? I was not expecting that. I was expecting like a fluffy sort of fantasy magical world. That's what I was getting from the cover, but not like the Poppy War type of vibes. The Poppy War, I love that series. It was just it's hard to take in. Like some points you have to put the book down. But no, not in that. Ugh. I was really looking forward to that too. Well, it is what it is, I guess. Thank you for giving me the heads up, Elises. I don't need to invest my life in books like that. I can't. Sure, yeah, it makes sense. For now, though, I'm in denial. Right. I'll be in denial too for now, but I know it's going to happen. That's awful. Don't mess with the riches, right? Mm, mm, mm. I'm so disappointed. And I haven't read the book yet. And I'm like, man, I can't. That sucks. That really does suck. But there's some other books that I can read that I'll enjoy since that one won't be my top priority. Tammy wrote a review on Goodreads. I hadn't realized the religion aspect of it until I read her review. I didn't read any reviews at all before starting or during. Okay. Or people it isn't a game, right? That cover is beautiful. I pre-ordered Spice Road and got another copy in my fairy loot. I need to pay attention. No, like I be like Autumn on IG, she is amazing. She gives us updates on like what books are going to be for each month for Illumicrate, Fairy Loot, or whatever book box or whatever that you're subscribed to, and she gives you a heads up months in advance. She's on IG. Let me see if I can look her up real quick. Where are you, Autumn? Because it's called the Autumn Book Reads, and so she gave us updates on like the adult picks like for Fairy Loot. Oh crap, where'd it go? So for February or March, she gives you an update on what the book is in April and stuff like that, and then like May, so she gives you a heads up that way you'll know. Like I'm looking forward to the Mortal Longings for that one because I've been reading Chloe Gong. I like her writing style. And then like for Illumicrate, she gives you January through March. This is January, February, which is this one. That's why I literally told you like, yeah, I'm gonna get this in the box, and now I'm so disappointed. And then March is this one. So yeah, so if you want more updates or whatever, just give you heads up that way you don't pre-order it anywhere else. It's called the Autumn Book Reads. So she gives you updates on it. No, like she lifted a lot of Poppy Wars, very similar. Okay. Ugh, I thought it was There's a lot. I feel like a lot of storylines and stuff. There's a lot of similarities with books and stuff now. Um, Especially when they do like advertising and stuff like that, when they're trying to pretty much market these books now, they'll compare it to other books. Okay, just followed her. Yeah, she keeps me up to date and stuff. If I need to cancel books or whatever, I can do that ahead of time if I already have the book. But yeah, I'm still the daughter of Ishidar I got from the Broken Binding, so I'm still getting that. I finally got my tracking number from them since they were able to get their everything shipped now, and I loved that book. So I'm looking forward to the second one. It was just really interesting with elemental magic and stuff, especially when it comes to women's rights. And so I really enjoyed The Daughters of Ishidar. That was really good. So, but I don't know. Is there anything else I would like to say about our prophecy? I feel like now it's just like a waiting game. Like we got to find out. Like we have to see what really happened. Like if there's going to be even more character development and world building in the second one. I feel like it was a miss, but I'm still giving it a 4 out of 5 stars because it was a great book. It was intriguing. It just got a little bit dry towards the middle and end of the book, but I will definitely continue on reading. Read the second book, and then I'll make my final decision if I really like it or not. Um, but yeah, definitely gave it a 4 star. But I'm still sad, Ulysses. I really wanted to read it, and I don't think I can't do it. I can't do it. But while y'all here, I'm definitely gonna put a poll up for next month because this month is Night Crawling by Layla Motley. And then I was thinking of doing a poll where I was gonna put up Babel was one of the choices. Um or actually y'all let me know and then let me know what y'all would want to read next month and I will just create a poll. Y'all let me know. And then I also getting I'm trying to because at least you brought up Patreon and I want y'all to have more exclusivity where we have private sprints together, private live discussions because I don't really like how YouTube is doing it with like the memberships is cool and all, but I feel like they need to have something where if I do lives, it's just strictly for y'all. So I'm trying to figure that out now because it's still so I'm thinking of doing switching that over to Patreon, still keeping the same price or whatever. Um, and go from there. But y'all get more access to things and we'll have private reading sprints and stuff like that. And I got the bookmarks for y'all. So y'all gotta wait for that. And I'll ask for y'all's stuff, for y'all shipping information, all that. I'm still trying to do something else for y'all that I have in mind, but I'm not telling y'all that. I'm not telling y'all that yet. Y'all just gonna have to wait and see. So I'm trying to get things in the works for y'all because have been so supportive and I do appreciate that. So yeah, I just want to make it more exclusive for y'all, if that makes sense. Let me see. The Lumicrate song of Silver Book is beautiful. Right, it is beautiful, and it'll just be collecting dust because I probably won't be reading it. uh, Hoover. What about Hoover? What about Hoover? Hopefully, not talking about Colleen Hoover. Mm-mm. You just mark it as a private and drop a link to them. Yeah, I could do that too. I just want to make it easier for everybody. We could totally do that. Patreon doesn't have to be complicated. We know your time is limited. Right. Right. So, so I think I might go that route. It'd be easier. And I just don't like how YouTube, like, even when I did put in the community tab just for members, it seems like some people don't get it. And I don't like that either. Man, don't even get me started with Colleen Hoover. My God, I know that she just had it's not really a new book, but they reprinted the book with a new cover, and I was like, oh my God. And when I like talk to people about it, they just love her so much, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I have to put a smile on my face, because sometimes I'd be tempted to give my own opinion, but I'm like, nope, not gonna do that unless they asked. Unless they asked if I read them, then I'll be like, that's when I'll be going in on it. I'm like, nope, but there's a reason why for that. I think Patreon is cool, but they take some of your membership money. I don't mind sharing your lives. I feel like more people will see them enjoying member. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Not Coho, right? I can't stand her. Oh my god. And TikTok be the death of me with that when they keep talking about her. I was like, ugh. If people just love her, I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm like, it's so toxic. Like, jeez. Jeez. I've been trying to escape her existence, but the internet makes it so hard. Right. And I'm like, bro, stop pushing her stuff on trying to push it on me. No, I'm not reading her stuff. Just stop. Stop. Ugh, goodness gracious. Hoover makes literally I feel like every time I see her books, I like get I just want to like like I just want to put her books in a corner somewhere. I don't want to see it. I don't even want to say her name. I do find her blowing up years later fascinating though, right? Yeah. I mean, she getting her money, you know? I can't hate on I can't hate on that. She getting her money. It's just I can't read her books. I'm sorry. And I'm not getting her coloring book either. She said prepare to be sick of me. Oh yeah, I'm every time I see that book, I feel like I get sickly. I can't do it. Oh yeah, TikTok's influence on the reading community has been insane, right? And I feel like a lot of businesses are using that for their businesses, like Starbucks, for instance. How people create these new drinks or whatever, and you see it on TikTok, and people want to try it. So since people are doing that, Starbucks is like, okay, we're going to up the price on things, which they have, if y'all haven't noticed. So a lot of businesses are using this as like a tool for their business, and it's making things become even more expensive. If y'all haven't noticed that, but yeah. I'm sorry this wasn't a great book, but I feel like from now on, I'm gonna let y'all choose from this after the night crawling that we're reading this month. I'm letting y'all choose, and then I'm just gonna create a poll, and then we just read it. I'm gonna put it in my members' hands at this point. I'm done. Oh man, and then there'll probably be a point where I have y'all pick my TBR too, and that'll be some content for me to share with y'all, uh, and read all y'all books that you choose to pick for me. So I want to make it a fun time. Yeah, I do feel sort of guilty because I have very strong feelings about her and her books and have never read one. I don't if I ever did read one, which I won't, it'll probably be from the library because she does not need my money. It says then you can switch to Patreon or you can do the private link. That way you can keep more of your membership fees after your membership blows up. Switch to Patreon. Oh man, I'm not even looking for it. I just appreciate y'all and I want to show y'all's appreciation. That's why I'm trying to get things in the works. Like I said, the bookmark's already here, but I also want to give y'all something else, but I'm not gonna tell you what that is. So um yeah, but yeah. Patreon, I was like, I created one. It's not live or whatever, but it's like, ooh, it's just a lot. You have to like plug in and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just, and it's already like a huge commitment, and I don't want to be, I like being interactive with you all. So, let's see, share from there. Yeah, I can do that too. True. So I mean, I think objectively it wasn't the best, but I did have a great time reading it for the most part. It was an instant where I threw objectively out the window. Right, right. I agree. It wasn't the best book, but the point of book club is to try different things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Right, but still, y'all gonna be choosing. So after night crawling, just give me like one book from each of you that you want to read, and then we'll go from there. It's all good. We are discovering new books, and it wasn't a horrible time, right? I'm glad that girl. Like I'm glad you mentioned the Song of Silver Flame of Night, whatever, because you gave me a heads up. I dodged a bullet because I can't support books like that. Um, it's just not for me. I can't. Preach. I'm good with Babel. All right, so y'all want to read Babel, and in March. Y'all just want to read Babel? That's cool with me. That'll be definitely a book to talk about, and I probably will also have some sprints dedicated to Babel too, if you want. Well, I have sprints anyway, so y'all will see me reading it and then having a notebook so I can take notes. We love books not being a horrible time, right? I'm down for some. Girl, get out of here. We're not. Uh. Uh. Like I saw a blurb from Jay Kristoff on somebody's book that I was thinking about reading, and then I saw his name. I'm like, oh no, no, I can't. I can't do it. I don't even like his. I remember before that whole thing of him, like when like Nevernight and stuff. I couldn't get into his books. It just wasn't for me. It was not for me. But yeah, she bringing up all these people on here. Mm-mm. Nope, not Kristoff. Not his ass. Nope. We ain't doing that here. Nope. I do not support. I don't support Coho or Kristoff. I can't do it. And all the other trouble and problematic authors. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Even though there's are some authors that people said are problematic, which people felt like Brandon Sanderson was problematic at one point. I don't know much about Sarah J. Maas either. I know I heard about Zionists and all this other stuff. I don't know. I have to do my research on that. Um there are some other, I think that was the only two that I books that I own from those two authors. I can't think of any other problematic author at this point, but I can't do it. Bria's bored. She wants to see the blood pressure rise in folks' rights. She bring it up. Jake Kristoff up in here. I'm down for the problematic authors. Oh my god. But I guess that is it then. I guess for March we'll read Babel, and that will be a fun and exciting time. I know Bree, you already read it. Um, I know ML and Ali, they've read Babel too, right? And I think Chris read it. I think. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's it for now. I think that's it. Would this be the first time y'all read Babel? This will be my first time reading Babel. I've been wanting to read Babel for a while, so this will definitely be my first time. Have you read Assassin's Apprentice? I want to start Robin Hobb sometime this year. Sanderson was a little problematic, but then I think he got a black friend. Man, I forgot why they would consider him problematic. I don't remember. I have to do some research. Assassin's Apprentice. I haven't wait, no. I haven't read Assassin's Apprentice. Yeah, Bree is feeling spicy today. Yeah. Prepare to be sick of me. Oh my god. I already put it in my script because everyone was reading about Babel in the last sprint. Gotcha. Yeah, we'll be reading Babel. I want to hear what's all it's all about. Yes, I was planning on starting Realm of the Elderlings this year too. Okay. Ooh, Robin. Okay, so Robin Hobb. Okay. And Bree, remind me, did you want to read Robin Hobb too, or wasn't a different author? Was it a I don't remember. There's a lot of stuff. Never. Saracen wasn't diverse. That's why he was problematic. Yeah, but now he's become diverse, so I think he's good now. um, I was about to mention something else, and then if y'all didn't know, I'll be doing I'll be reading the 1619 project starting in March. It's going to be a slow read where we should finish the book in June. I didn't want us to like read it for through for 1 month. I feel like this for 1619 project it's very complex, and I feel like it'll definitely be hard at points at times when you read it, So definitely we're going to be reading the 1619 project starting in March. I'll have once I get the schedule and stuff up, there'll probably be some type of announcement later on this month about it. And if y'all want to host any sprints or if you want to be a co-host or whatever, please let me know. Because those, and then of course end of each month or whatever, we'll discuss the section that we read in the book, or the sections that we read that month, and discuss about it. So yeah, I feel like I think it's a good time to start reading the 1619 Project. I feel like how the world is looking, like it looks rough. It looks bad. Like I don't watch the news, but I do watch some YouTubers that I do trust their content, and they give me the rundown on certain things and what's happening. So I try to be aware of some things. But yeah. The way he wrote the Parshendi, very close to Native Americans, he adjusted and included more POC characters. True. Yeah. Yeah. I'm down for Robin Hobb too. Okay. We need to figure out how we gonna read Robin Hobb. How many books is in that series? Yeah, but also because he made some homophobic comments back in the day, though. I do think he addressed those, and because he actively supported a church that invests on conversion, therapy, amongst other things. Okay, I did not know about that. Okay, I already have the 1619 project queued up. All right, cool, cool, cool. He talked about working on not being insensitive to Native Americans. At the time, I hadn't read Stormlight, so I didn't know what he was talking about. Okay. What are we having the Wild Seed discussion? I think, isn't it the 7th or the 8th? It's coming up real soon, right? So 16 books, but they're divided into series. Never, ever, ever. Whatever. So it's a quartet, and I think 5 trilogies. For Robin Hobb. Okay. Let me figure out. And his books are thick too, I think. But yeah, the live discussion, from what I remember, let me go on here because I could have thought I saw it. But there is a live discussion, obvious, of course. Let's see. Bria, I know you had it on here because you have a co-host too. Yes, okay, it's February the 9th. February the 9th, they'll be having a live discussion on Wild Seed. So I'll be starting that book after I finish reading the book that I'm reading right now. Well, I will share y'all. I'm reading The Davenports by Crystal Marquis. There is going to be a book review coming from me really soon. Um, so that's what I'm currently reading. I should finish that book today, like next hour or so. And then I'll be starting Wild Seed, so that way I can read that. I'll have that finished before the live discussion, which is the 9th. So that works perfectly. And then I'll read the next book um, this month as well. And I still need to do my January wrap up, and I still need to do my February TBR. So I'm behind, but it should be a fun time. Robin Hobb, her books are similar to Cosmere series tied to each other. Okay. And that should be a fun time. We got to figure that out so we can read Robin Hobb together. Oh man. But I think that's it. Bree, are you having sprints later this evening? If so, let us know. I'm down for some sprints. I need to figure out my life. I need to. Yep, I need to wash some sheets and clothes. Yeah, I have a lot to do. Okay, cool. It didn't show up in my feed as being scheduled. I'll go over to Bree's channel now and save it. Okay. One of the books Libby is snatching back is Wild Seed, so I'll be reading it today. I got my copy of the Davenports. I can't wait to read it. It's actually really good. I really enjoy it, so I think you'll like it, Jira. Wild Seed equals pimp named Doro. They're no, we just got whatever. Gee, this is exciting. I've been looking for a realm of Elderlings real long. Yeah, it should be a fun time. We just got to figure out when we're gonna start reading them, and figure it out. Yeah, I might as well. Wild Seed is on Hoopla too. I saw that and I was like, oh shit, Libby's trying to come in my neck. I'm like, but then I saw it on Hoopla. I was like, whew, that was a close one. Yes, Sabri, please have sprint tonight so I can read these books Libby is taking away. I think she is. I think she is. I'm hoping she is. But I think that's it for this discussion, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm sure I'll see y'all later, especially if Bree's having sprints. Um, and then we're gonna be, our book club pick for this month is Night Crawling by Layla Motley. And then March, we'll read Babel. So I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. I will see y'all later. Duro kept calling her Wild Tea, but he was a wild one the entire time. Oh snap! Yep, I gotta read it. Sister Harlem should have sprints. I've retired. Yeah, she ain't retired. Thank you. I'm off to clean and wash clothes. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming. I'll catch y'all later. See ya. Bye.